have here. You know they've come out and announced what we've known for over a decade, that the Pentagon and the Department of Energy and the Department of Commerce and the Department of Education and Department of Labor and all these federal departments have multi-billion-dollar budgets a year apiece to go out and pay for the scripts to be written in dramas, sitcoms, TV shows, game shows, children's shows especially. I mean, when I watch children's cartoons a couple times a year randomly, I'll usually be on vacation, turn the TV on, just to let my kids watch some TV every once in a while. And it's like, oh, the earth is bad. There's too many people. The UN's going to save us. The UN fights off the aliens. Parents are bad. Microchips in your body, you're good. The government knows best. And they've got a list of these. Well, here it is. CIA to monitor internet chatter for anti-government sentiment. The CIA admits in Wired magazine and a bunch of other places that they are going to track the American people, and the Pentagon is countering the American people with blogs and operatives and hired think tanks and hired PR firms. And that's who's out attacking us on InfoWars and Prison Planet and YouTube. I mean, they don't even hide it. They have a weird Wikipedia group who give themselves brigade awards, and they actually get teenagers to help them. And they go, yeah, I'm special ops, black ops, fighting the evil Alex Jones. That son of a bitch is a traitor. And they're all proud of themselves, putting out propaganda and demonizing Ron Paul. I mean, it's real, folks. And it's going on everywhere. So that article is important. The scientist who worked for government accused of spying. It looks like in the FBI affidavit, they've got him recorded asking for petty sums. I mean, turns out he worked for an Israeli company. They already suspected him of spying. He worked in space-based weapons, space vehicles, spy satellites. This is a master scientist. For $10,000, he gave them data cards. He gave them memory sticks, USB drives, the little sticks. It says in the affidavit, with total satellite data, information, what they're doing, how they're doing it, nuclear weapons systems he wanted to give them for $10,000. And it looks bad with these Israeli companies. One of them, it says, paid him $200 and something. Here it is, $225,000 for one Israeli company he worked for. Now, they haven't proven yet that that's a front, but most big Israeli companies are. But the point is, this guy would sell out. But see, he's low level. I mean, he's a high-level scientist, but low level compared to Sandy Berger, stealing the highest level NSA intercepts out of Congress. In the bubble room, they've got a room where intelligence committee people can see documents, and it was incriminating stuff on Clinton, so he stuck it in his pants and his sock. He didn't get in trouble. And as bad as that is to steal incriminating information, I read the affidavit, I scanned over the articles, I spent about 30 minutes on this, and this guy looks as guilty as sin. It's kind of encouraging that the FBI would actually bust a criminal, but at the same time, if they are setting him up, it's the biggest setup I've ever seen. Because they have video, they have recordings, they had meetings in hotel rooms, and for $9,000, I said 10, he asked for 10, he got 9 for some reason. He gave him, oh, here's a bunch of satellite data worth tens of billions of dollars, potentially. And he was like, I'll give you all the nuke secrets, because he worked on nukes as well. I mean, this is insane. And my question is, if Israel's been caught spying on us more than even the Russians, why is Israel allowed to run the one company that controls over 95% of all telephone routing and caller ID systems in the country? Why does Israel have a company that's government-controlled that guards most of the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile? I mean, my whole issue is Israel's always infighting with themselves and killing each other in government and all that subterfuge. Our government is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. So I thought I would just mention that. So many threats to federal officials that Secret Service make or tail investigations into financial crimes. This is from the Boston Globe, reposted at Krypton.com. But there's the Boston Globe. And I remember scores of articles. I mean, literally, I can't keep track. I could say 50, 100, I don't know. I've probably seen 50, probably more, articles the last 3 or 4 years. We could search engine this right now, in fact. FBI cuts number of white-collar fraud investigators. Try searching that. If you're a multimillionaire or a billionaire, there are almost no investigators for you. They've cut them down to nothing. And they put the investigators not on middle-class people making $100,000 a year. They put the fraud investigators on blue-collar, people making $20,000 a year. Hard work and fun. I mean, because, again, crooks run the system. And now they're going to cut it again. Just like more than half of Congress, it's come out, doesn't pay taxes and then doesn't get in trouble. Just like the Treasury Secretary doesn't pay him and doesn't get in trouble. FBI cuts white-collar crime force. Yeah, click on that. And then that's a blog. And then it'll have a link to the actual article. But what was the source on that? Point is, it's all over mainstream news that that's going on. I mean, here's Boston Globe. The unprecedented number of death threats against President Obama, a rise in racist hate groups, and a new wave of anti-government fervor threaten to overwhelm the U.S. Secret Service, according to government officials and reports, raising new questions about a 144-year-old agency overall mission. And then it goes on to say the Secret Service is basically going to stop investigating all different types of white-collar crime. And I mean, it's the same across the board. They've always got excuses. We are worried about weak dollar, Eurogroup chief says. 16 countries that use the euro single currency are worried by the weakness of the dollar on currency markets, the head of the Eurogroup said Monday. They may do what they did a couple years ago and go in and buy dollars trying to prop it up, but it's only putting off the inevitable. Fraud inquiry slashes Karzai vote to 48%, setting stage for runoff. This Unicol executive, this fraud, we told you when they had the election, I don't know, was it 6 months ago? I forget, that it was a complete fraud. And now they've had to admit it's a fraud. But see, in America, we can't admit that many elections are frauds, even though they've been caught, because they'll give you an Obama after 8 years of clear fraud. People go, oh, well, then Democrats can get elected. There must not be fraud. But now that they're in power, Republicans aren't going to be able to get elected. It's all staged, ladies and gentlemen. They put in the establishment candidates.